Sunday. Tonight's game with Marquette is a rematch, with round one going to the Golden Eagles on their home court. Tonight, the Billikens would love to do their own touchdown dance and pay back Marquette. It's next on Fox Sports Net. Frigid temperatures outside Kiel Center in downtown St. Louis. Inside Kiel Center, however, it's warm, toasty, and maybe a bit fuzzy. As we get ready for this battle in Conference USA, the Marquette Golden Eagles taking on the St. Louis University Billikens. A quick check of the standings in Conference USA. The American Division, Marquette, a surprising 4-2 in second place behind top-ranked Cincinnati, with the Billikens at 2-3, a chance to climb to the 500 mark tonight. And welcome down to the Kiel Center floor. I'm Joe Buck, evidently one of the few remaining members of the media not down in Atlanta for the Super Bowl. If SLU fans are willing to think back to the first time these two teams met back in Milwaukee, they won't like the memory of scoring only 38 points total and shooting under 25% from the floor. Lorenzo Romar knows his team has to play better tonight.
We know that fundamentally we're going to have to be better when we play against Marquette. We're going to have to shoot the ball better than we did the first time. We did not shoot the ball particularly well from the outside, and we're going to have to find us a way to get some easier baskets. Every possession was a grinder in that game, and that's, give a lot of credit to Marquette because that's how they wanted to play, and they won that battle. But here's the next one.
And no doubt it'll be another grinder here tonight. I welcome in my partner Joe Wiley. And Joe, to set that first matchup between these two aside for just a moment, the number one objective for the Billikens is to build on the momentum they picked up Saturday with that win at DePaul.
Well, that's certainly true, Joe. A big win for the Billikens against DePaul. They need that same kind of effort this evening. It's a great motivator. They need a win this evening to keep it going.
Meanwhile, we're going to wear out this Super Bowl comparison. And if the Bills have a Kurt Warner on their floor, no doubt it's Justin Love.
Well, Justin Love for the Billikens has certainly been the quarterback of this team, just like Kurt Warner for the Rams. Justin is the leading scorer on this team, certainly the catalyst. He's got to be in the offensive mix if they're going to win. He had 8 big points in the overtime against DePaul. However, he is still looking for a cereal, and I think we're going to call it the Love Crunch when they discover it.
That was your nickname, wasn't it, back when you played at SLU, the Love Crunch?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about Marquette for a second, and on their side, they've got a guy a lot like Justin Love for the Bills, and that's Brian Wardle.
Brian Wardle is an excellent player. Certainly he is to this Marquette team what Steve McNair is to the Titans. Great shooter, gets this team energized. He can really play the game of basketball. He had 28 big points against Cincinnati Sunday night. However, he will not be slowed down by turf toe like Steve McNair, so the Billikens really have to be on Brian Wardle this evening if they're going to win this ballgame.
That is Joe Wiley. I am Joe Buck. We are at Kiel for this Conference USA battle between St. Louis University and Marquette. The band works. They're loud. They're ready. Hope you are. It's next on Fox Sports Net. Kiel Center, we welcome you once again downtown St. Louis for this matchup between Marquette and St. Louis University. Take a look at the SLU head coach. We already heard from him, Lorenzo Romar. First year here with the Billikens, a record of 10-7, coming to St. Louis by way of Pepperdine University. And we look at our Budweiser starting lineups. For the Golden Eagles, they have John Cliff, Cordell Henry. Those are the two guards up front. Wardell and Namaka, and Miller's in the middle. You know Love and Perry. Tatum, he's a grinder underneath. Jeffers and Heinrich in the middle for the Billikens. There's Tom Crean. He's also in his first year, the head man with the Marquette Golden Eagles, and they have a record of 11-6 and already a surprising 4-2 in Conference USA. We look at our Lou Fuse keys to the game.
Well, the Billikens really must rebound this evening if they're going to win. This is a tough Marquette rebounding team. Intensity from the top. From the get-go, the Billikens have got to be all over this team. Make Wardle wobble. The Wardle wobble could be a new dance. But at any rate, the Billikens must stop Brian Wardle. He is the catalyst for this team.
Few people know it, but Wardle's wobble, they don't fall down.
Oh.
You know that?
Is that right?
Yeah. I've heard that at least. Away we go here in St. Louis. Marquette leading this all-time series 23-20. Glad you're with us here on Fox Sports Net. Miller and Heinrich will jump it up, and it's controlled by Marquette. Cordell Henry, a sophomore from Chicago, runs this offense. Marquette Golden Eagles. That's Wardle on the drive and gets the roll for the first points of the night.
You see how slick Wardle is. He's got such excellent foot movement. Really understands the game well. A little stutter step straight to the basket and in. Nice play by Ryan Wardle.
Namaka bothered Tatum. Bills keep possession and now run the offense. Love thinking about it, trying to hit Jeffers on the drive to the basket, and they miss connection, so a turnover here early for the Billikens.
Ryan Wardle, you see him ease right by Maurice Jeffers, who is the best defensive player for the Billikens. Has a real tough assignment this evening, guarding Wardle.
Namaka up top, and that's Wardle again. Trying to get it underneath, and it's tapped away by Heinrich and controlled by Love. Trailing 2-0 here early. Justin Love, who had that big overtime, scoring 10 of his 18 points on Saturday at DePaul for that road win for the Bills. Love for three. The Bills up by 1.
Justin Love hitting like that this early, and he's pretty closely guarded. He could be in for a big night. That was a very nice shot. Loaded real quick on that one. Got it off. Nice basket.
Wardle guarded by Jeffers. These Marquette Golden Eagles coming off a loss at home to Cincinnati. Marquette a dismal first half. Really picked it up in the second half, but came up short against the #1 team in the country. Underneath, that's Miller. He and Heinrich will be battling all night. That's Namaka for three as the shot clock expires. And St. Louis will take over.
This is real nice defense by Chris Heinrich, the big guy, forcing this pass out of bounds. Miller just couldn't reach it.
Bills up by a point. Tatum, bothered by Namaka, gets it back momentarily, but Miller controls for Marquette.
What happens when your big guys handle the ball too much that far away from the basket?
Henry bothered by Perry. Trying to get something started, and Henry trying to dish down to Miller. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Marquette.
Pretty good defense that time by the Billikens. Henry is a fine penetrator. When you penetrate, what happens is you draw the defense. That time the Billikens didn't bite and were able to deflect the ball.
Henry on the drive, kicks it out. This is for three. That's Cliff, and it's no good. Jeffers ahead of the pack. Running the floor and throwing it down. A 5-2 Billiken lead.
Maurice Jeffers in an all-out sprint. Great basket, good defense.
Again, to revisit, the Bills trying to build on the momentum they got with what is now a rare road victory in Conference USA play. Snapped an 8-game road losing streak. They got that on Saturday in DePaul. Namaka bothered by Tatum. And now Wardle with a shot clock winding down to 2 seconds. Namaka. And they're going to call a foul, and that's a bad break for St. Louis University as the shot clock was down basically at 0. The foul committed, and Namaka will head to the line for 2 free throws.
Now, this is a tough foul right here. The Billikens playing great defense. Justin Tatum all over Aloma Namaka, but they say foul, and I'll tell you, that one was close.
First foul for Tatum. Namaka hits his first free throw. So a 5-3 Billiken lead. John Harris will check into the lineup for Marquette. Miller is gone, and Harris is a guy, 34, that will pay attention to, and you know that Heinrich and others will. Guy who likes to work the glass.
Harris is a powerful player inside, Joe. He can really handle the boards. From Edwardsville, Illinois, right across the river.
A 5-4 lead for St. Louis University. Marquis Perry trying to drive on Henry. They're going to call a foul, wave off the basket. Perry was fouled by Cordell Henry, and that's the first for Henry.
an interesting matchup, Joe, between Perry and Henry, both about the same size, both same quickness.
We'll pay attention to that all night. Jeffers out beyond the three-point stripe. Love a fake and now puts it up and shoots the air ball, but it's Jeffers underneath. The follow for St. Louis University.
Maurice Jeffers, alive and well offensively, has not had a lot of offensive thrusts like this all year, but certainly is giving the Billikens an early lift.
Guy averaging just over 7 points per game, already has 4. And now Marquette trailing by 3. Wardle got it. With a hand in his face, Brian Wardle gets his second bucket of the night.
I like this guy Wardle. As a freshman, I saw him play here at Marquette. I just thought he would be an excellent college basketball player, and he's developed into just that.
Junior out of Clarendon Hills, Illinois. Love on the drive, pulls up. Can't get the roll. It's tapped out to Perry. A fresh shot clock for the Billikens. Love. John Cliff has been on Love most of the night. Not much for this Billiken offense to find. Shot clock now under 10. Perry has it stripped away, a turnover, and Namaka comes down the other way. That's Wardle. Shot no good, and the rebound tapped out of bounds. It will belong to St. Louis. So with 14:40 left to play here in the first half, Jeffers out in front of the pack, knew what to do, and the Billikens lead by 1.
Hello? Oh, hey, Mom. Okay.
What?
It's my curfew.
Your curfew's 10:16?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry. Thanks, Mom.
You never know when your kids are going to need you. So sign up now with Southwestern Bell Wireless. Get a free digital phone and ask about family ties.
It's my biggest story ever.
You've double-checked your sources?
Triple-checked them, Chief.
Then let's run with it. Nobody in the world sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
RE/MAX Associates average more experience and more sales than other real estate agents.
Why in the world would you ever call anyone else?
Exactly.
This was quite the scoop, Ace. What tipped you off?
Let's just say there was something in the air.
Jim Rome, The Last Word. Weeknights at 6:30 and 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Tonight on Fox Sports News, live from Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta. We'll have reports from both the Rams and Titans, including a look at how the chilly weather is affecting preparation for the big game. Plus, one player is out of a job, and more players could be out of Sunday's game after this post-game rumble. Also, I sit down with 2 former champions to talk about greatness and retirement. Fox Sports News, live from Atlanta tonight. Plus, catch our wrap-up show Sunday right after the game.
We welcome you back to Kiel Center, a 7-6 St. Louis lead with under 15 to play in the first half. Tune in for Jim Rome's The Last Word. Tonight's guest, you may have heard of this guy, Rams wide receiver Isaac Bruce, 11:30 on Fox Sports Net. Lorenzo Romar and these Billikens already off to a better start than back on January 5th, and I talked about it in our open. It's a memory that a lot of Billiken fans, I'm sure, would like to erase. Shooting 24.5% from the floor, scoring a total of 38 points on the night, making 4 baskets in the first half. They're already 3 out of 5 to start tonight. Jeffers on the drive, pulls it back out. Ferguson now in the lineup for the Billikens. Heinrich underneath, loses the handle but gets it back. Underneath Banyak, who checks in, and they're going to call a travel. Heinrich fell down when he took down that rebound.
Well, Joe, the critical mistake that Chris makes here, he brought the ball down, giving Brian Wardle time to react. Now he's in big trouble. Then he finds Banyak, who doesn't recognize where he's at, It's just a flawed play all the way around by the Billikens. You got to have better recognition quicker than that if you're going to score against a smothering defense like Marquette.
Diggs and Baroni in the lineup for Marquette, and there's Wardle, who has a wide open jump shot, now has 6 points.
Once Wardle gets the ball, he is deadly.
Good defense underneath by Harris, and the turnover. Baroni brings it back for Marquette. Just about every time down the floor, Wardle will touch the basketball for Marquette. And there he is again, hitting again.
Now that was an excellent offensive series by Marquette. They set a baseline screen to free Wardle, and when you give him that much space, this guy can hit it.
We're going to call a foul underneath. It'll belong to Harris. He fouled Heinrich, and we go back to...
You see Wardle peekaboo right around that little screen, and he's deadly when you give him a split. See right there, there's the screen, just enough to free him up, give him the space he needs for that jumper.
Billikens have already turned the ball over 5 times. Turned it over 16 times in that previous meeting on January 5th. By the way, started a terrific run for these Marquette Golden Eagles. Talk about that in a moment. Ferguson for 3. That'll tie the game at 10.
Ferguson picking up where he left off. He had a nice game against DePaul. Came in and hit some key jumpers, wide open like that. He can hit it.
18 points off the bench for Lorenzo Romar. Baroni tried to call a timeout. They didn't give it to him. This is Ferguson again, and he'll pull it back. Baroni tried to call a timeout. The officials didn't see it. The turnover occurred, and now Banyak hits from the baseline, his first bucket of the night.
Billikens moving the ball very well, finding the open guy. That time Banyak open on the baseline, and Banyak has a smooth jump shot for a 6'9" guy.
There's Wardle. Rims out, and Love with a rebound for the Billikens. Getting Heinrich. What a beautiful pass from Love to Heinrich. Hit him in stride for the basket.
Wonderful pass. You don't usually like to get it to your big guy, your 7-footer on the run with that kind of momentum, but Chris Heinrich was able to handle it from on a great pass.
A timeout called for by Marquette. Tom Crean wants to talk it over after this.
You see Love threading the needle on that pass. Heinrich right in stride. What a nice play. And Joe, you really don't like to give it to your big guys going this fast, but Justin Love felt Chris could handle it, and he does. Stops and pops.
We're going to take a quick break, come back. Billikens now up by 4, a 14-10 lead. St. Louis U.S. University back in a minute. Well, we welcome you back to Kiel Center, a 14-10 lead for the Billikens on a 7-0 run over the last minute 22. Talk about rebounds and what an important factor they become. SLU already with 7 rebounds, Marquette with 0. Baroni stays in the lineup for Marquette, and they're going to call a foul up top on Ferguson.
Brian Baroni, son of Coach Tony Baroni, who coached at Texas A&M, and a friend of mine, by the way.
Brian is a transfer from Texas A&M, transferred in April of '98, getting a little more playing time as this season is worn on for Marquette. 14-10, Billiken lead. Under 20 on the shot clock for Marquette. This is Wardle. Leaning in and now kicking it out to Diggs, right back to Wardle, and he has it stripped away by Robertson. And Ferguson will run the offense. Two big guys in the lineup for the Billikens, Banyak and Chris Heinrich. Robertson took the pass from Love, and they're going to call a foul underneath, and we'll see who gets credit for the foul. They're going to call it on Banyak.
Heads up defense here. Troy Robertson. You see Brian Wardle brings the ball down to his waist. Troy with quick hands was able to bat it away, and you'd better do that against Wardle, because if you let him up that one, it's going in.
First year, as you know, for Lorenzo Romar here in St. Louis, working now in Conference USA, and he was warned before he came here, get ready, they play tough in the Midwest.
Well, certainly this defense that Marquette is playing is smothering.
In being in California, you watch the Conference USA games quite a bit on television, and you hear a lot about the Conference USA teams. You read about them. It gets a lot of publicity around the country, and I was fully aware that this was going to be a tough conference. And Coach Herrick even teased me, who I worked for at UCLA, who's now at Georgia. He says, "Hey, you can't mess around now, pal. I mean, this is the big boys." And he's absolutely right. This is a very, very tough conference. But as a coach in this profession, as an athlete, as a competitor, this is what you want. You want to be around the best.
We talk about the tough Conference USA, 6th overall in the RPI rankings. Cincinnati, as you know, 1st in the nation, ranked #1, and they show no signs of slowing down. That team is on another level.
They really are. They're right now playing so well that any team in the conference is going to have trouble beating them. However, Marquette hit 48 points in the second half of that game Sunday, which is unusual with that smothering defense of Cincinnati.
But you could understand how Cincinnati at times might let up a little bit because they lose their concentration. I mean, they blow teams out in the first half. It's tough to keep it going.
That's certainly a factor, and they do lose their concentration against what they feel are weaker teams. You know, you're blowing a team out in the first half because they held Marquette to 12 in the first.
I see a guy in Lorenzo Romar that as time has gone on through this season, for obvious reasons, but he has opened up more and more, and we're seeing more personality out of Coach Romar than we saw originally. And you can understand why, with a guy coming here from California to the Midwest, his first season, getting comfortable with life in St. Louis. Cliff on the drive, and this is Namaka, and he traveled with it in the lane.
Nice call. Lomanamaka, one too many steps.
I don't think I'm going to embarrass you and tell the folks how you figured out a way to come up with the correct pronunciation of Lomanamaka.
He has a melodic sound to his name.
He does. Love on the drive, pulls up and misses. Boniak underneath, great rebound, and he puts it up and in.
Matt Boniak demonstrating those great skills he has for a big guy. If he could only do that consistently.
Cliff on the drive, got behind Robertson, misses. Put-back attempt is good by Namaka. So Ferguson will continue to run the offense. Marquis Perry has been on the bench for a while. Love on the drive. Reverse lay-in, Justin Love.
What a move by Justin Love. You think this guy doesn't have some athletic ability.
5 points for Love. It's a 6-point Billiken lead. Diggs hits.
Pretty smooth shot. David Diggs, sophomore out of Dayton, Ohio. With a nice jumper from the free throw line.
This is Heinrich working on Harris. Little move in the paint. He hits a baby hook.
Chris Heinrich has gotten a lot better, Joe, since the beginning of the season. He's really improved offensively.
Harris hands it off, and now Baroni. Substitutions ready to check in for both sides at the next whistle. This is Diggs guarded by Love. Shot clock under 10. Down to 5. Baroni has it stripped away by Ferguson and then commits the foul.
David Ferguson, quick hands. Brian Baroni gets a seam in that defense right here, but he's unable to finish because of the quick hands of Dave Ferguson. Very nice defense. The Billikens have really come out this first half with a lot of intensity, but Marquette as well is playing with intensity on defense, so it's a very exciting ball game.
John Redden and Chris Braun now in the lineup for the Billikens. Early action for Braun. Justin Love will take a seat, joined over there by Heinrich. This is Boniak. Little They'll move on the baseline, can't hit the shot, and Wardle comes down with a rebound.
Good coaching move by Lorenzo Romar, giving a rest to Justin Love, Justin Tatum, Marquis Perry, all on the bench right now.
One tipped it into the hands of Miller. This is Wardle, who's bothered by Robertson. Reason why, for a while, he sneaked into the starting lineup. That good defense. Cliff underneath. Miller with a body on him. That's Boniak, and they're going to call it travel. Good defense by Matt Boniak.
Matt Boniak, quick reaction. That was just a real nice pass here. If the Billikens aren't heads up, Boniak slides over. He's almost a little too late, intimidating this play, and he's got some pretty good backup from Chris Braun. Forced to travel with a little intimidation.
Robertson gets it underneath to Brown. Trying to kick it back out to Robertson, and Wardle got a hand on it.
What the Billikens hope for here is that their subs can at least play even with Marquette. You don't want to lose anything while you have your starters in the bench. That's the sign of good bench strength.
That's Brown underneath. Tough basket through Miller. Henry back in the lineup for Marquette. He'll run the offense. Coming up on 7.5 to play here in the first half. Strong defense shown here early by the Billikens. Wardle, hand in his face, hits again.
Brian Wardle, I tell you, once you give this guy an inch to get that shot off, he can really shoot it.
Robertson had a hand up, but Wardle now up to 10 points here in the first half. Boniak feeling it in the lane, gets the roll. Like to see more of this from him the rest of the season.
Absolutely, Joe. Matt that time very aggressive to the middle with a nice move and good touch. And this is the kind of thing that he can do.
And now on the other end, working defensively, knocks it away from Namaka. So it's an 8-point lead for St. Louis University. Ferguson, little illegal procedure. He's got his mind on the Super Bowl on Sunday. Good start for the Bills.
Coach Romar here. You know, before every basketball game, there's a lot of numbers I need to know up front. Having the players' point per game averages, the turnover ratio, and rebounds makes all the difference in the world come game time. Same with buying a car. And at SLUfuse, you get the most important number of all right up front, the price of the car. The SLUfuse Auto Network, upfront pricing, brought to you with respect.
I'm not doing anything tonight, so call me.
Hey, Romeo, grab a Bud Light.
Boys, this is my lucky. What is this, a 5 or a 6?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Is it a 5 or a 6?
Make it a Bud Light.
That's a 4.
That's definitely a B.
4, maybe an F.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, hey, Mom. Okay.
What?
It's my curfew.
Your curfew's 10:16?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry. Thanks, Mom.
You never know when your kids are going to need you. So sign up now with Southwestern Bell Wireless. Get a free digital phone and ask about family ties.
Matt Boniak playing the inside game like a big guy should. You see him spread out right here. Quick recognition, recognizing he has a lane to the basket. Watch this move. Puts his feet together and shoots the jumper, and that's the way the coaches teach it.
It's an 8-point St. Louis lead. Fans can help provide scholarship support for the St. Louis University Athletic Department by joining the Billiken Club. All donors receive a number of benefits, including a newsletter and invitations to many exciting events. For more information, call the Billiken Club office, 977-8180. Under 7 to play now in the first half, and Marquette trailing by 8. Miller inside, can't hit. The rebound kicks out to Redden, who loses control. Cordell Henry dishes to Miller. Contact underneath, and Robertson comes away and now finds Ferguson. He'll drive and miss. Boniak trying to follow, can't hit, and they're going to call it travel, and it'll go back to St. Louis University.
Great break for the Billikens that time, but this was some pretty good board play by the Billikens and pretty good defense. Great hustle. I'll tell you, the outlet pass by Troy Robertson that time was tremendous. Dave Ferguson was unable to finish.
Billikens now have out-rebounded Marquette 10-3. They lead by 8 with a basketball. Under 6.5 to play first half. Ferguson getting a lot of playing time after that tremendous performance on Saturday at DePaul. Redden, one of the emotional leaders of this Billiken team. It's Redden on the drive. Bothered as he shoots, and the rebound comes down into the hands of Miller.
I'd like to see him go back to Boniak. I think he can beat Namaka inside, but
this is Cordell Henry. Big surprises this year in Conference USA. Marquette Golden Eagles, and there's another turnover as Miller threw it right to Ferguson.
If you're Lorenzo Romar, you got to like that last defensive play. Good double team inside, forcing that turnover.
Defense really has been strong the entire first half. Wardle's hit a few shots, but he's hit shots with a hand in his face. That's Ferguson for 3. He got it. Dave Ferguson now with 6 points. 27-16 lead. Wardle for 3, trying to answer. A little too strong, and Boniak gets the rebound. Redden on the run to the corner, and Robertson throws it up. Nearly drew iron. Wardle on his knees gets an outlet pass to Miller.
Not a wise play. You got to take better care of the ball than that.
That's Cliff for 3. How about that? The rim awfully kind here at Kiel Center for John Cliff. And his first points of the night. This is Robertson. Ferguson, we've not seen much of Marquis Perry in the first half. That's thrown right to Wardle. Here come the Golden Eagles. Henry kicks it out. Cliff for 3. Rim not so kind this time, and Ferguson back the other way. Redden for 3. A little short. We've seen some ugly shots here in the last minute.
John Redden still not in tip-top shape. He was out for about 8 weeks with a broken foot.
For 3, it's Cliff, rims out. And I'd say he's even. He was robbed on that one. He got a gift earlier. An 8-point Billiken lead. Cross-court pass to Redden. St. Louis slows it down just a bit. Twelve seconds left on the shot clock. Redden on the drive, kicks it to Boniak. And they're going to call a foul on Brown coming over the back.
Chris Brown has got to work for better position than that. Caught behind, you got to at least work to get even.
A timeout on the floor, an 8-point lead for the Billikens. 3 minutes left here in the first half.
Hi, I'm Coach Romar of the St. Louis Billikens. You know, when it comes to recruiting, we always have definite ideas about what we're looking for. We might need some height inside, so we may be looking for something pretty big. Other times, if the pace is going to get fast, speed and quickness are at the top of our list. And you always keep your eyes open for a workhorse who can get the job done day in and day out. And if you're lucky enough to get all that on one team, you just know you're going to come out a winner.
Are you looking for quality pre-owned cars? Come to GMT Auto Sales, where you'll find over 200 trucks, vans, and cars in stock at unbelievable prices. warranted, state-inspected vehicles starting at $29.95. Our truck inventory has tripled in size, with 4x4s as low as $49.95. No credit, bad credit, GMT has financing for everyone. We'll do whatever we can to earn your business at GMT Auto Sales, North Highway 67, 1.5 miles north of I-270 in Florissant.
Atlanta, Georgia, site of Super Bowl 34. Pro football's ultimate confrontation. 2 teams. One trophy. Your pregame destination, NFL This Morning, live from Atlanta. All the power and passion of Super Bowl Sunday. NFL This Morning, live from Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta on Fox Sports Net.
The Billikens demonstrating excellent defense all evening. This play, Chris Brown caught behind the backside help as Banyak cheats over, forcing the turnover.
Talk defense, we'll talk football. You can get all the football news, highlights, and analysis you can handle as we bring you in-depth pro, college, and even high school pigskin coverage weeknights at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports Net. Talked earlier about that January 5th meeting between St. Louis University and Marquette. Marquette won that game 56-38 and then went on a tremendous run. They did lose at Cincinnati, but won at DePaul, at home against Louisville, and at home against UNC Charlotte. And they are a surprise in Conference USA with that conference record of 4-2. The Billikens, with a win here tonight, can jump up to a .500 record of 3-3, which would tie them for 3rd place in the American Division. Crowd wanting a travel. Renzo Romar wanting a travel. They don't get it. This is Wardle handing off to Baroni. Still an 8-point SLU lead. Perry back in the lineup for the Billikens, as is Jeffers, who bothers Wardle. The fall-away jump shot no good, and underneath, touched by Clausen off his back, and it belongs to the Bills. Coming up at the half, we will visit with Dan Leahy, chairman of SLU's Hall of Fame committee, first half statistics and of course highlights. Perry gets it underneath the Heinrich. Back to Perry, jumps up and misses the shot. Tatum knocked it out of bounds, and it belongs to Marquette.
And you'll see quite a battle between Justin Tatum and Harris, John Harris from Edwardsville, both physical players, both very dedicated rebounders.
Perry with good defense on Baroni, making him work to get it down the floor. This is Harris. Shot is blocked, but they're going to call a foul, as Harris in major traffic drew the foul, and it will belong to Chris Heinrich, his first. 27-19 lead for the Bills, and Harris is a 25% free throw shooter. Reminds us all why.
Game like this, these free throws are crucial down the road.
Just ugly. Absolutely
terrible.
Ugly.
Marquette shooting 63% as a team.
Love has his momentum stopped for a moment, and then along the baseline hits in for Justin Love. He has 7 points.
Pretty smooth offense. Justin Love able to glide in for that basket.
The man-to-man defense, and it's Jeffers guarding Wardle. Inside, this is Harris. There's Wardle, and they're going to call a foul.
Pretty physical stuff. Tatum and John Harris. A little pushed and shoving. Harris gets the best of this, but good help from the Billikens. Once again, good team defense. Jeffers and Perry there to greet Mr. Harris.
It was Love who picked up the foul. The replay might tell you it was Jeffers who was the one in the face of Wardle. Wardle hits the first free throw, and now for Wardle, He hits again, and that makes it an 8-point game. 12 points now for Brian Wardle. Underneath it's Tatum. Backing in and can't hit the turnaround hook. Barone flips it to Harris and back to Barone, and here come the Golden Eagles. On the wing, it's Cliff for three, can't hit. Heinrich comes down with a rebound. Perry taking it to the basket with a right hand hits.
Marquis Perry elevating right over Alomanamaka.
First 2 points of the night for Perry. Coming up on a half-minute left in this first half. Billikens leading by 10. Wardle on the drive, has it tapped away, and they're going to call a foul. Jeffers got a hand on that shot, and they're going to call a foul on Justin Tatum.
Tatum must have gotten him with the body, Joe. I too thought that Jeffers got all ball.
Second foul of the night for Tatum. Wardle hits again. 13 points for Brian Wardle. He is not disappointed. Neither have the Bills, who have played a strong first half against Marquette. 14 points for Wardle. Now the Billikens can hang on to it and take the final shot. Shot clock is off. You can see Love wants to take it. He hits. Justin Love hits. Barone misses on the other end. A 9-point first half for Justin Love, and it's a 10-point Billiken lead at the half.
Justin Love feeling this one all the way. Great kiss off the backboard, gets it down.
And I don't think there was any doubt about it. You could see it in his eyes as the clock wound down. He was the one that wanted to take the shot. Who better to take it for SLU than Justin Love? The Billikens 9-1 when leading at the half. We are at halftime here at Kiel Center, and the Billikens lead this game by 10. Conference USA battle. The Billikens trying to go to 3-3 in the conference. They lead by 10 at the half.
It's back at Bellman Carnection. Over 1,500 vehicles, all only $19 down, with no payments until March 2000. With only $19 down and no payments until March 2000, you can drive away in a late model pre-owned vehicle. You pick your payment, starting at just $199 a month. Every vehicle on the lot is marked by payment, so come pick your payment for only $19 down and no payments until March 2000. Now through January 3rd at all 4 Carnection locations.
That's them. Naughty little beavers.
I took the risks and started my own business. Taking risks, that's what you have to do. But here's a way to help your business with no risk at all. Just call for your free trial version of QuickBooks Pro, America's #1 best-selling small business accounting software. That's right, I said free. For no money, not even a shipping charge, you'll get this free trial version of QuickBooks Pro from the makers of Quicken, so you know it's easy to use. Want to write a check? You just start typing, and QuickBooks Pro fills in the rest. It shows you how much money you're owed and who owes it. It even prints invoices with your company logo. And QuickBooks Pro can save you even more time with features like estimating and job costing. And it integrates with Microsoft Word and Excel. Look, we all take risks in business. Now take advantage of an honest, no-risk opportunity. Call for your free QuickBooks Pro trial version now. There's no bill, no hassle. There's no risk. You can't do better than that.
Call 1-800-716-1444.
Avalanche Blues, Saturday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
St. Louis University basketball is brought to you by the SLUvMarquette Automotive Network. With respect. By Budweiser, the beer with a fresh, clean taste that's never filling. And by Southwestern Bell Wireless, a member of the SBC Global Network. And welcome back to the Kiel Center in our Southwestern Bell Wireless halftime report. The 10-point Billiken lead at the half. This Conference USA battle. We welcome you to our spot here courtside, and I welcome in Dan Leahy, who is the chairman of the Hall of Fame subcommittee for the Billiken Club. And you guys have a big night coming up on Friday night.
We sure do, Joe. This Friday, January 28th, we'll be holding the premier celebration of Billiken Athletics, our Hall of Fame dinner and banquet induction ceremony. Year's dinner will be held at the Hyatt Regency at Union Station. We'll have cocktails starting at 6, dinner at 7, and the induction ceremony to follow.
I was just looking at some of the names and some of the honorees. This is a long list of names that you'll be putting in the Billiken Hall of Fame.
It is, and the other thing, too, it's a very diverse group. A lot of times we're heavy with soccer players or heavy with basketball. This year, for example, we've got 3 football players from the old days, 3 basketball players, we've got 2 soccer players, a soccer team, a field hockey player, a baseball player, and a tennis player.
We just showed the number, I know, as we took that wide shot, so even though it is Friday, people can still get involved and come out to the event.
We have, again, the cocktails start at 6. For more information or tickets, call the Billiken Club at 977-8180.
Dan Leahy, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, that's Dan Leahy of the Hall of Fame Committee for the Billiken Club. A 10-point lead for the Bills. Back in a moment. And again, we welcome you back to the Southwestern Bell Wireless halftime report. A 10-point Billiken lead, and we welcome you back to our spot. Joe Buck and Joe Wiley with you. And for a guy who doesn't get a chance to see a lot of Billiken games, I was thoroughly impressed with not only what they did offensively, but the big guys played well, and I thought defensively they really did a job on these Marquette Golden Eagles.
Well, Joe, I think the key here was they came out with a great deal of intensity. They were able to come out, play good defense, get in a rhythm. The big guys, you're right, are playing very well inside, both defensive and offensively, and they're controlling the boards.
Controlling the boards, and we'll take a look at the statistics from that first half, this Conference USA battle. And you look at the field goal percentage, kicked down to 3-point field goal percentage. How about 1 out of 7 for Marquette? And that's death in a game like this.
It certainly is, particularly you're playing on the road if you're Marquette. You got to play much better than that. You got to shoot the ball better. But the Billikens are just flat, giving them a lot of trouble and forcing that ball out higher than they'd like to start their offense.
And a big edge for the Bills in the rebounding department, out-rebounding Marquette by a 2-to-1 margin. So that'll do it for now. We will take a break and come back with the second half from Kiel Center. It's Marquette and SLU, and it's a Billiken 10-point lead. We again welcome you back to our Southwestern Bell Wireless halftime report. About 4 minutes left to the start of the second half. And with this 10-point lead, we think back to what Marquette did on Sunday. First half scoring only 12 points at home against top-ranked Cincinnati. And then look what they did, Joe Wiley, in the second half. 48 points, the most they've scored this year. So they know what to do after they take a break.
You know, one of the things, the Billikens can't lose concentration, so they got to keep this intensity up.
Take a look at the LUFU's keys to the game. We will revisit this to see how you've done.
Well, rebound, rebound, rebound. Marquette 8, the Billikens have doubled that with 16 big reads, and that's a major statistic. Intensity from the top, and I think that's reflected in the score and the way they're playing this tough defense and good help from behind. Make Wardle wobble. I'll tell you what, now here's where they're a little bit deficient. Wardle has 14 points, 4 for 4 from the line.
So a 14-point first half for Brian Wardle. He's doing what he typically does. But the St. Louis University basketball Billikens played a strong first half, lead by 10. The other side of this break, the second half in this battle, the Conference USA. DePaul leading Conference USA in rebound margin, plus 10 a game. So after the strong showing on Saturday, and again, this is another point that we underlined at the start of the evening, so important for Lorenzo Romar's team to build on what they did Saturday, and they certainly seem to be doing just that.
Winning can be contagious, and certainly that appears to be the direction the Billikens are headed. They have had a good first half.
Well, the next home game Saturday, January 29th at noon, taking on perennial CUSA power, the Louisville Cardinals. Bring the family for a great afternoon of Billiken basketball and be a part of the next run. That's noon on Saturday, the next home game for the Bills. Quick shot of Justin Love and Marquis Perry, and Jeffers will start in this second half. Looks like the same starting lineup that the Bills ran out there to begin the night, and it is, including Tatum, Heinrich in there. He worked hard in the first half, and the Billikens leading by 10 start with it. And this is Jeffers. It's Cliff trying to guard Love. Quiet crowd here at Kiel Center. Jeffers top of the key, shot clock at 14.
Real mismatch out there, Joe Buck, with John Harris at 6'7" and Heinrich at 6'11".
That's Perry missing the shot, and Henry coming down with a rebound and pushing it for Marquette. So now the Golden Eagles trailing by 10 with their first offensive possession here in the second half. Solid defense put on by the Bills in the first half. Henry on the drive, hits over Perry.
Henry and Perry continue their little war out there, both from Chicago, both about the same size with the same quickness.
Tatum can't hit the runner in the lane, an air ball, and it's Cliff coming away with it for Marquette. A handoff to Henry, so trailing by 8. Henry drives and dishes. Cliff for 3. Hits. Wide open. Cliff now 6 points. A wide open 3-point attempt, and SLU will call a timeout.
It's a good timeout by Lorenzo Romar. Can't afford to let this get away. You see this kick out as Alomanamaka draws the defense. Cliff wide open and drains a 3. You can't leave a guy that wide open. The thing the Billikens really have to guard against here is a mental lapse where nothing happens and Marquette goes on a run offensively.
You can get all the day's scores, highlights, and breaking stories tonight at 10 p.m. on Fox Sports Net. So what was a 10-point halftime lead is now down to 5. And if you're Marquette, you have to start thinking about what you did on Sunday against Cincinnati. Well, we have to revisit this as well. SLU first time out January 5th against Marquette, a total of 38 points the entire night. 33 in the first half here this evening, but none so far in the second half. Change that as Jeffers hits on a strong pass from Love.
Great pass from Justin Love, but an even greater move to the open spot by Maurice Jeffers.
Jeffers now with 6 points. A 7-point SLU lead. Wardle dumps it underneath to Harris.
Nice offense. John Harris, good pass to find him underneath.
Back to a 5-point game. Love from the corner for the 3. Rims out. Tatum with a rebound. And right back up and in. Justin Tatum.
Nice play. Justin Tatum, no hesitation. Recognized he had a shot straight to the basket.
Henry out of control as he throws up that shot. That ball's tied up as Wardle came down and battled with it. Jeffers tied up, and it will belong to Marquette.
Good heads-up play. Brian Wardle with the heads-up play to time up for the jump, realizing that Marquette would get the ball.
That's Wardle from the corner for 3. Brian Wardle now with 17 points, and it's a 4-point SLU lead. SLU trying to get something going here in the second half. Shot clock at 18 as Love hits a 3.
Justin Love is the guy that's got to get in this offensive mix early in the second half to stop that Marquette momentum.
What a tremendous play by Marquette Perry. Took it out of the hip pocket, Cordell Henry, and then as he's falling out of bounds, has the presence of mind to call a timeout. So we had 3-pointers on either side, and we start with the Wardle 3-pointer.
Wardle, as we said, comes out from behind those picks, and he's dangerous once he gets it. Justin Love coming right back at him with that picture-perfect jump shot with the great finish. Great rotation always on that jump shot that Justin Love fires up there.
Love with 12 points. Wardle 6 of 10 from the field. And it's Billikens basketball as they lead this by 7. Marquette Perry with a strong defensive play. And then the timeout, and this is Perry with it for the Bills. Jeffers trying to find someone underneath. Love fakes a 3-pointer, drives, dishes to Heinrich.
And Joe Buck, the thing I like most about that play, Chris Heinrich never brought the ball down, kept it nice and high, backed it right up in.
A move by Cliff, he can't hit the shot, and they're going to call a charge on John Cliff.
All you high school aspiring centers, watch this play. Heinrich keeping the ball up, giving the defense no time to tie him up for the jump, and puts it right back up on the glass.
Showing pretty good hands in catching that pass from Love. Wasn't just a spectator watching Love go to the basket ready for the pass, and he knew what to do with it. A little over 16 minutes left to play here in the second half. Billikens with the ball. 9-point Billiken lead. Love on the drive, and he's fouled. Going to call Namaka on the foul. And these will be the first free throws attempted the entire night for the Billikens.
See Justin Tatum attempting to set a screen for Love, and Love really gets up so good on his jump shot. He's got that nice high shot, makes it very tough to block, and invariably defenses will hit him on the wrist.
Said it a moment ago, these are the first free throws attempted tonight by the Billikens. And Love, 13 points for Justin Love. David Diggs will check in, and John Cliff is out of the lineup for Tom Crean and Marquette. Love gets them both. Now has 14 on the night. Lead is 11 for SLU. This is Henry driving on Perry. Can't hit, an air ball, and Jeffers with a rebound. You can definitely detect a little personal feud between Henry and Marquette Perry, and so far Perry has played better than Henry. I believe they're going to get Wardle coming across on the foul as he knocked it out of the hands of Love.
I think they're going to get Harris.
Well, me being a betting man, I'd bet on you. They gave it to Harris. Joe Wiley up 1. The Bills up 11.
We talk about Justin Love and his ability to shoot the long-range jumper. And he can elevate. He's got great rotation, a nice high jump shot. He ranks number 2, that is second, in 3-point field goal percentage with 41% from 3-point range, and that's a terrific percentage.
Working on that percentage tonight. Tonight, 2 out of 3, second in Conference USA, as Joe Wiley just mentioned. The Bills overall tonight, 4 of 7 3-point land. Talk to you about the Billikens women's game in just a moment. As play resumes, 15.5 minutes left in the second half. And Love on the drive is going to be called for a charge, and Lorenzo Romar who had a good view of that, doesn't agree at all. That's the second foul for Justin Love.
Well, it appeared that Aloma Namaka was there, and that plus a little bit of acting got him that charge.
The Swedish acting of Aloma Namaka. This is Wardle. That's tapped out of bounds by SLU.
Look at Tatum. You think this isn't physical inside between Aloma Namaka and Justin Tatum.
Ball was just tapped out of bounds by Love as he got in front of Diggs. This is Clausen. Second time he's been in the lineup tonight for Marquette. Wardle with a turnaround jumper. That's Love yanking down the rebound. Long pass from Tatum down to Jeffers. Over Wardle, can't hit, but he draws the foul.
On the other end, Joe Buck, that was a great rebound by Justin Tatum. You know, here's a guy at 6'2" that can go in with the trees. You and I watched him at the beginning of the game slam a couple, and he's phenomenal.
Unbelievable. Tremendous athlete. Jeffers will head to the free throw line. Maurice is a 57% free throw shooter. It's his first and has 7 points. A couple of substitutions as Diggs will check out. Namaka as well for Marquette. Jeffers gets them both. A 13-point lead, and they call it travel on Baroni.
Brian Baroni doesn't normally make those kinds of turnovers. A little unusual for him. He's normally a pretty steady player.
32.
Jeffers with it for SLU and Marquette Perry as the Bills will set up their offense. Jeffers pulls up, can't hit. Wardle taps the rebound to himself. And now they'll call a foul underneath as Clausen backed in over Heinrich. And then bumped him on the way back down the floor for a second time.
These two get into it every time they play. Both physical players, both 6'11", both weighing in at about 255. It sounds like a heavyweight battle to me.
Give their reach. What kind of reach?
I think probably 84 inches.
So the Bills with the basketball leading by 13. Perry on the drive hits. Marquette Perry with a strong move to the basket. 4 points now for Perry. A shove to the back of Baroni by Perry. Got away with it. Then pulls up and hits.
What a crossover dribble that time. John Cliff enabled him to get that shot up and over Justin Love.
13-point lead for the Billikens. Tatum underneath, the move, and he has it rejected. Ahead to Cliff. Doesn't have the numbers. Up to the back. Love takes it away from Baroni. They'll call a jump ball, and it belongs to St. Louis University. That's quick hands.
Quick hands. Justin Love with great heads up. Brian Baroni again victimized by the Billikens. You see right here those quick hands and good heads up play. Justin Love ready to go the opposite way.
Marquette Perry will take a seat. Dave Ferguson is in the lineup for St. Louis. Baroni will check out for Marquette. Might be a while before he finds his way back into the lineup. 13-point SLU lead. Trying to up their record at 3-3. Conference USA play. Love for three. Rims out. Heinrich can't handle the rebound. Cliff pulls up with three. A little short, tapped up and in by Miller.
Tough break.
First bucket of the night for Miller. Crowd starts to get into this game. They've been awful quiet so far tonight. Jeffers backing in on Wardle. He likes that matchup, and why not? Maurice Jeffers now with 10.
This is one of Maurice's better offensive efforts of the season.
They're going to call a foul down on this end. Jeffers, who just picked up the last 2 points, gets the foul.
Pretty good post play right here. Maurice Jeffers takes 2 dribbles back. A great fake up and in. Is able to get Wardle off balance and take it in for the easy layup.
Jeffers 4 of 5 from the field tonight. Wardle has it stripped away. Boniak gets it. Here comes Ferguson. Has Love for the alley-oop. Couldn't handle it. Gets it back. Misses the shot, but he's fouled.
That was close. We talked about Justin Love's ability to get up. You see Dave Ferguson with a good lob, actually. It slips out of Justin's hands. He was up high enough, but just couldn't get a handle on it.
They always told me, don't try to dunk before you catch the pass.
Yeah, I believe it. But you went ahead and did it anyway.
Yeah,
Joe.
sometimes 3 for 3 from the line is Justin Love. A 15-point night so far. The senior from San Francisco. 4 for 4 from the stripe. Bills are 6 for 6 from the free throw line, and it's a 15-point game. Henry on the drive, in the lane, can't hit over Boniak. Inside, it's Wardle with the left hand, hits, and he'll go to the line.
Who else but Brian Wardle in amongst the trees.
19 points for Wardle. 7 times this season he's had 20 or more points in a game. He hits here, it'll be 8. 28 points against Cincinnati on Sunday. 20 points for Brian Wardle. That'll make it a 12-point game here at Kiel Center. Justin Love, first down, young man. He's had a big night. The Bills with a big lead. It is a 12-point Billiken lead with just under 12 minutes to play here in the second half. Get all the day's scores, highlights, and breaking stories tonight at 10 p.m. on Fox Sports Net. Busy down in Atlanta, preparing for Super Bowl 34. The Rams and the Tennessee Titans. Here it's the Bills and the Golden Eagles. St. Louis with that 12-point lead. Brown back in the lineup for St. Louis. Cliff able to stay with Love that time. Cliff all over Love as he looks for a little daylight. Shot clock down to 4. For 3. Love in and out. Cordell Henry the rebound for Marquette. Namaka had a wide open 3, didn't want to take it. Miller. Ugly shot from the free throw stripe, and back the other way come the Bills. Ferguson, a pass from Love. Finds help in Brown, and they'll set it up again. Brown with a turnaround short.
Chris Brown has got to start making that baseline jumper.
Wardle rims out. Boniak with a rebound. Jeffers. Great move. Maurice Jeffers, terrific body control. And it's a 14-point SLU lead. A 12-point night for Jeffers, who came in averaging just over 7 points per game. he's fouled.
Pretty good pass up court by Dave Ferguson. And a nice move to the basket. Another nice offensive move by Maurice Jeffers. And the bench has got to love it.
Speaking of Love, Love just picked up his third foul. And a couple of substitutions for the Billikens. Picking up his third foul. Love will take a seat. The crowd appreciates his effort. Here's John Redden. Joins Troy Robertson in the lineup for Lorenzo Romo. Both got them both, and it's a 12-point SLU lead. So we'll see what happens offensively for the Bills with Love out of the lineup. Redden steps through the defense. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with SLU.
Dangerous bounce pass inside in the lane. Too much traffic. Those are very difficult to get through. Not a wise pass.
Under 10 to play here in the second half. Ferguson for three. Harris comes down with a rebound for Marquette. David Diggs. Very little playing time tonight. Not much offensively for Marquette. It's been Wardle and not much more.
Billikens playing tough defense. Suffocating at times.
A foul called before that shot was taken. It'll be interesting to watch over the next few minutes what happens on either end with Justin Love out of the lineup for St. Louis and Brian Wardle out of the lineup for Marquette. Robertson just picked up the foul, his first of the night. And off the dribble, Diggs missing the shot. Boniak gets the rebound. Redden up top for the Bills. It's knocked away. Diggs got a hand in there. John Redden, and they will call a foul. That's Henry getting the foul called on that hand check.
That was close. Henry obviously thought that wasn't serious enough to call.
So Redden will step to the line.
John Redden, in his now 4 years with the Billikens, has been hampered at least twice by two rather serious injuries, both involving his foot.
Southwest Missouri State against Bradley on Sunday at 3 o'clock on Fox Sports Net. Red misses the second. And so the Bills now lead by 13 at 55-42. Under 9 to play. Wardle about ready to check back in for Marquette. Shot clock is at 10. Looking for some opening offensively for the Golden Eagles. Namaka has it rejected. It's Brown who comes down with it. Lead pass for Boniak. May have traveled with it. Turns it over anyway. And Cliff back the other way. Now Henry for the Golden Eagles. Up top, guarded by Boniak. Really can get nothing going. This is Redden ahead for Ferguson, and the easy layup.
Smart move by John Redden, getting the ball up court to Ferguson, who was at least 2 steps ahead.
And a timeout called for by Marquette. John Redden took over, fed Ferguson. And it's Ferguson out in front of the pack with the easy layup, and the Billikens have opened up a 15-point lead.
John Redden with a nice steal comes up with a nice pass ahead to Dave Ferguson, who lays it up and in. And the Billikens are playing smart basketball. They eliminate some of these unnecessary turnovers. A lot of time in this game, though, Joe. 7 minutes left, and this Marquette team is a finisher, so they really have to keep the pressure on.
Our next TV game will be Saturday, February 19th at 1 o'clock at Tulane. It'll come your way on KSDK, News Channel 5, Saturday, February 19th. But you can see how valuable and how important Brian Wardle is to the offense for Marquette, because when he was not out there, they didn't know where to go with the basketball.
Well, he's essential for this team to win, as is Justin Love to the Billikens. The one interesting thing about this Marquette team that I really like, they know how to free Brian Wardle up. They know that teams are going to play him tight, so they really set some excellent screens to free him up. And I think that's extremely important with a guy like Brian Wardle. You want to make sure he gets the ball up enough times in the game to be deadly.
There's 7.5 minutes left to play here in the second half. Namaka down to Diggs. This is all in an effort, you would imagine, to get the ball in the hands of Brian Wardle, number 22. They pull it back out, the shot clock down to 10. Henry on the drive, Namaka underneath. There's Wardle, tries the three-pointer, can't hit. The shot clock expiring, and Redden back the other way for the Bills.
Great defense, the Billikens forcing Marquette to take a bad shot.
So the Billikens have the basketball, leading by 15. Justin Love with this lead, able to get, with his 3 fouls, a nice break over on the bench. Ferguson thought about it, thinks about it again, and it was a little short. Brown hustling after the rebound, and it will be off him. And now they change the call, and it will stay down at this end with St. Louis. So a television timeout, a 15-point lead for the Bills. Under 6.5 minutes left to play in this one here at Kiel. Welcome back to the Kiel Center. Charlie Spoonhour talking it over with Jill Pizzotti, the women's coach, and the women will host Southern Mississippi on Sunday, January 30th at 2 p.m. in the historic Bauman Eberhard Athletic Center, West Pine Gym on the campus of St. Louis University. All children 18 years of age and under are admitted free to the game. The Billikens support the Take a Kid to the Game program. It'll be on Super Bowl Sunday. Cheer on the women and then go home and watch the Super Bowl. By the way, the loudest this crowd got tonight was when the PA system here played "Gotta Go to Work," the Rams song. This crowd has kicked back and watched St. Louis University play a solid game front to back. Boniak underneath slams it through. 2 more points for Boniak, and that's 8 on the night.
Matt Boniak enjoying a very fine evening, rebounding and scoring. He's played a good hustling floor game as well.
The lead has ballooned to 17, and now Ferguson will pull it back. So the Bills have actually added to the lead with Justin Love out of the lineup. Marquette really struggled. Brian Wardle was out of their lineup.
Brian has yet to gain any momentum offensively. The Billikens continue to keep the pressure on.
Boniak loses the handle, tries the reverse layup, misses. And it's yanked down by Harris. Back comes Marquette. And there's Wardle. And he is fouled by Robertson. Second foul for Troy Robertson.
Joe, we talked at the top of the show about Matt's great skills. Good hands right here, good leaping ability, and also a great pass.
Coming up on the 5-minute mark here in the second half as Wardle in the lane misses, and it's knocked out of bounds off the hand of Heinrich. Will stay with Marquette.
Billikens are really making Wardle work for everything. They were all over him on that shot. He was off balance. Troy Robertson made him float enough to get him off balance on that shot.
That's Cliff off the dribble. And underneath was Namaka, I believe, who had his feet taken out from under him, and they're going to call the foul.
Don't like to see that. Dave Ferguson gave it a little too much submarine. Right here you see ball coming off the board, and Ferguson right there slides enough under him. Really dangerous. Players get injured that way. I'm sure Ferguson didn't mean it.
Second foul for Dave Ferguson. It's the team's 7th, so into the 1-and-1 situation, and Namaka hits the first. Points on the night for Namaka. Comes in a 60% free throw shooter. Got them both. There's 4 free throws on the night. And the lead is cut to 15. Robertson, the cross-court pass for Red. Going to take a little time off the clock, control the basketball. Back to Red. Ball movement by the Billikens. Ferguson trying to force it down to Heinrich, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with SLU. And Heinrich trying to get up, I believe, was knocked back down to the deck by Harris.
That must be where the word harassment comes from.
There you go. Harris stepped in and gave Heinrich a little knee and said, get back down there.
Well, they've been going at it the entire game. It doesn't surprise me a bit. Both very physical players. And Harris has to be physical with the bigger guy, but Harris plays a physical game anyway. You see right here, the pass over to Heinrich. Heinrich delivers a forearm, it looked like, to Harris. So that's probably what caused that bit of retaliation on Harris's part.
Shot clock is down to 1. Ferguson just does get it off, and he hits a three-pointer. 11 points for Dave Ferguson, and he has a smile on his face as he guards Baroni. And that pass into the backcourt. Wardle couldn't handle it, and the Billikens are just outworking Marquette from the opening tip.
The wheels are coming off of the wagon for Marquette. The Billikens continue with the intensity. You see Ferguson with this last-minute jumper and gets it to go. Ferguson has played very well the last 2 games. He had a good game against DePaul on Saturday.
3 of 5 tonight from beyond the arc. Under 4 to play now, and the Billikens running away with this one at 62-44. 18-point Billiken lead. Heinrich with a turnaround, can't get it over Harris. It's knocked out of bounds off Boniek. It'll belong to Marquette. An official timeout on the floor. This Billiken basketball team was ready to play tonight. Lorenzo Romar had them all juiced up. The bench loves it. So does this crowd here at Kiel. It's a 62-44 lead for St. Louis, an 18-point bulge. And we will remind you, coming up next, hardcore football. That's on Fox Sports Net. Fans can log on and try to guess Bill Moss's cholesterol level. No, I'm just kidding. You can't do that. We'll do it anyway. Tell Bill I told you that. What a strong performance tonight for the Billikens, and Lorenzo Romar has to be really pleased with the way his team has come to play this evening. Trailing by 18, Marquette has it. Billikens, by the way, shooting 52% from the floor tonight as Wardle hits, giving him 22 on the night. The full court press put on by the Golden Eagles. Billikens break it easily, and Love back in the lineup for St. Louis University. Gets it to Robertson. That's tapped away, and it's Harris who comes away with it for Marquette. Coming up on 3 3 minutes left in this second half. They're going to call a block on Robertson as he tried to get in front of Wardle.
And you can believe down the stretch here, Brian Wardle will have that ball probably every possession.
Marquette hasn't shown anyone else in their lineup capable of scoring consistently other than Wardle. And Robertson, who just picked up his 3rd foul, will check out of the lineup. And the Bills have a lineup: Heinrich, Love, Ferguson, Jeffers, and Banya. Wardle misses the free throw, and it's Banyak down with it. Ferguson moves it up quickly. Jeffers. And they're going to call a travel. Jeffers a little extra step with it, trying to get it over to Justin Love. So Marquette with the basketball. Under 3 minutes to play, and they trail by 16. Marquette needing quicker shots than this. Down by 16, Wardle. Fake, and now inside the arc, hits the 2-point, giving him 24 on the night. Love with a dribble and the pass up to Banyak. It becomes a game of keep away on this end of the floor. And on the drive, Love draws the foul. We came in talking about Justin Love. Talked about his importance on the floor, and in a way the Kurt Warner, so to speak, of the Billikens, and he has done nothing to dispel those thoughts.
That's true, Joe. Justin Love has got to be in the offensive mix for the Billikens. He's got to be a significant force in the scoring for this team to be successful. And he's demonstrated that this evening.
He has 16 points. He just missed that free throw. Wardle from the free throw line. That's Love with a rebound, and he's fouled. Wardle's the one who stepped in and committed the foul. That's his 2nd of the night.
You see Brian Wardle right here, a little bit off. And our MVP, Justin Love, with another big rebound, continues to play well.
So Love back on the other end will attempt the first free throw of a 1-and-1. And hit.
Easy, guys.
And he gets to that season average. He has 18 on the night. And with under 2 to play, it's Marquette with the basketball, trailing by 16 again. Cliff right in front of us. Monica bothered by Banyak. Tipped up, and Harris can't hit the follow-up shot. They're going to call a foul underneath. And the Billikens will go back to the other end and shoot free throws.
You know, Joe, the Billikens defense has really been super this evening. Namaka hurt him a little bit when they played him at Marquette, but they have effectively shut him down, as well as Wardle in this second half has not been the force that he was in the first. So the Billikens, with no let-up here in the second half, continue to keep the pressure on.
Harris committed the foul, and Banyak hits the first free throw. It's the 9th team foul on Marquette. The next foul, it'll be 2 free throws. Banyak gets them both. Andrew Latimer will check in for the Bills, and Banyak out. And Banyak with an impressive performance here this evening.
I continue to have high expectations for Matt Banyak as I see him do these very good things out on the court.
If he is finished for the night, he'll leave with 10 points. Underneath, it's Miller who misses what amounts to a layup. And the foul is committed after the rebound. Barton Miller, who is into just his 8th game of the year, missed the easy shot. And Latimer will go back down to the other end and shoot free throws. Double bonus situation for the Bills. Pelicans now 11 out of 14 from the free throw line tonight. Marquette Perry back in the lineup. Ferguson will take a seat. And Larry Simmons will come into the lineup for Lorenzo Romar. And Maurice Jeffers gets a nice hand. He's finished for the night. Latimer gets his first point of the evening. 67-48 lead. Bills will move to 3-3 in Conference USA play. Cliff is way off, and Love gets the rebound. Heinrich on the move again, and they're going to call a charge. Heinrich commits the charge, and no bucket for Chris Heinrich.
You see the smile on Justin's face with a nice pass up court. But I'll tell you what, Chris Heinrich continues to make John Harris pay one way or the other. That time, Harris got the charge, but took the full brunt of the big guy that time.
Miller on the drive, and Heinrich throws it right back at him.
You know, Miller probably wants to say, this just isn't my day. He had Latimer and Heinrich all over him on that shot.
1 minute left in this one between Marquette and St. Louis University. That's Wardle for three. Can't hit. Miller comes down with a rebound. And an attempt to get it into the hands of John Cliff. Backcourt violation, and the Billikens will take over. Justin Love with 18 points tonight, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. It's substitution time for each side. As Tom Crean, the Marquette head coach in his first year, gets some of the bench players in the lineup. As does Lorenzo Romar on the other side. This is Simmons. Gainer for three. Can't hit. And in a scrum underneath, Heinrich had the feet of Clausen, who gets up ready to take a swing at Chris Heinrich. He had his fist cocked back and ready to throw it.
These two guys have gone at it for the past 2 or 3 years, and Clausen is absolutely enraged.
And to his credit, Tom Crean, the head coach, gets in Clausen's face and says, get down at the end of the bench.
And Coach Crean's really giving it to him. You see right here, Clausen taking Heinrich down with him. Heinrich almost takes somebody's knee off.
That was Clausen.
And that's Clausen. Clausen is absolutely furious.
Well, if you go back to the start of that play, Clausen went at Heinrich's jaw with his knee. Heinrich, in self-defense, grabbed the leg of Clausen, and Clausen hops up ready to take a punch, take a swing at Chris Heinrich.
Chris Heinrich, you see him exiting like wasn't his fault, but I tell you, those are two big guys. I'd hate to have to go out and break that up, Joe. And
the officials did a good job, by the way, and the teammates of Greg Clausen jumped in front.
Cooler heads.
Thank goodness they got in between those two.
Absolutely. Cooler heads prevailed. And I credit Coach Crean a lot for taking, as you said, he took Clausen out, calmed him down, told him that's completely unnecessary. Look at the stats here on Heinrich, 6'11", 250. Well, I could probably match him with the 250, but mine stretched over a shorter frame.
Clausen, 6'11", 265 from Dixon, Illinois. I believe they're going to eject Clausen. It's a double technical, we're told. And I believe Clausen will exit. If he doesn't, he should.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous to leave both of these guys on the same court. Dixon, Illinois. What famous person was also from Dixon, Illinois?
They're going to let Clausen shoot the technical. And in my estimation, this Sends a terrible message to the guy who gets up ready to take a swing at another player after initiating the trouble with a cheap play with his knee into somebody's neck. Isn't ejected and isn't off this floor.
I'm a little surprised that they as well.
Of replay, but it was Clausen who started the trouble, and it was Clausen who at one point was going to end the trouble. So now they're going to give the ball to Marquette. So it isn't a double technical, as we were told. It's a technical, and Marquette maintains possession. So it's a 17-point St. Louis University lead, and underneath, the basket laid up and in by Crunty Hester. Hester's first points of the night. In the corner, that's Simmons. For three, it's Diener. Latimer has it knocked away by Hester. And they'll call Hester on the foul. 3.5 seconds remaining in this one. A sloppy ending to what was a rather well-played game on the part of St. Louis University.
Particularly, they forced Marquette into some early turnovers, and Marquette got very sloppy after that, turning the ball over just unnecessarily. A couple of backcourt violations.
Latimer misses them both, and this game will come to an end with a 67-52 Billiken advantage. A 15-point win for Lorenzo Romar and the St. Louis University Billikens as the two head coaches get together in midcourt, and I'm sure talk about that nasty situation we had down here between Heinrich and Greg Clausen. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap things up. The Billikens move to 3-3 in Conference USA play. Back in a moment. Well, back here at Kiel Center, as this crowd is quick to exit, it's a 15-point win for the Billikens, 67-52. Joe Buck and Joe Wiley still with you. And we'll say our final words here tonight. And I know we've said it a couple of different times, Joe Wiley, but I thought from the start, and you talked about it in your keys to the game, Lorenzo Romar had his team ready to play. They did build on that momentum they got on Saturday in DePaul, and it looks like this Billiken team is primed for a nice little run here.
Well, I think so. They played very well. They played much better than they did against Marquette there. They played similar to what they did against DePaul. Louisville's another big contest. They got to be right back on top of their game, but certainly this is great motivation and great momentum for this team.
Well, we can come in talking about Justin Love, and we could sure exit talking about Justin Love, but Dave Ferguson the last two games has really stepped up. He was deadly from beyond the three-point arc here tonight, coming off 18 points back at DePaul.
Well, Dave Ferguson, when he started off the season, he lost his starting job to Marquis Perry. He really was kind of in a bit of a mental lapse over that, I believe. In the last three games, boy, has he responded terrifically. Tonight, once again, he was on top of his game, did an excellent job offensively in getting the offense running, made some key passes. Very nice performance by Dave Ferguson.
We will take our final break of the night. Back for our final words. We'll wrap it up in just a moment from Kiel. Stay with us.